Oh man, I really want to be part of the superhero group. I mean, I've tried out a bunch of times for a few different ones and just never get the call back. But I know this time's going to be my time. It's going to be my time.
Okay. You need to just calm down.
I can't help it. I'm just so excited.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you wanna calm down, just chill out for a minute. What you should do is listen to the Pod Bros Network.
The Pod Bros Network.
Yeah, they've got tons of different podcasts. They've got stuff about video games, stuff about movies. They've even got Pencil and Ink Reviews, which is one about comic books, which is about superheroes, which is what you are.
Oh, there's a podcast I can be on, huh?
Sure. I mean, you'd have to chill out a bit, but okay.
Sweet. I'm going to download those right now.
All right. Sounds good.
So, what's your superpower, by the way?
Oh, me, I say sentences that are slightly homoerotic. I like penis.
Maybe we should just listen to the Pod Bros Network.
I like penis. What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And we're speaking the language of bromance. Shawn, what do you do with your evening?
Not a whole lot. I know sometimes I like to walk around my house, and there's sometimes there are brand new things in my house that scare the absolute shit out of me.
Oh.
So,
see, I was segueing that into something I wanted to talk about, but now you piqued my curiosity. What?
It's like, no, Shawn, I was setting you up for something else.
Shawn, we're going to talk about me, but now I'm interested in you for the moment. So you better let this go. You better ride this wave while it's cresting.
Well, I'd like to ask you, Richard, would you consider yourself a fight or flight type of person?
You know, I probably have to go with flight, but I haven't really been in that. I can't really think of a lot of times where I've needed to call upon that response. I can usually kind of talk and bullshit and smartass my way out of most, confrontations.
But like, you've never been in a situation where it's just like happened. Like, most of the times if somebody's trying to pick a fight with you, you see it coming, or there's ways to avoid that scenario. But have you ever been in a situation where it's like, pow?
I said it's like Batman. You anticipate everything, and so you're surprised by nothing.
Exactly. But so you've never had just that unexpectedness thing coming. You're walking down the street and all of a sudden there's a bear. What the fuck you do?
Ooh, yeah. In that instance, yeah, I'd like to think that my response would probably have to go with flight, because I think that's, in 90% of the time, that seems like the smarter thing to do.
Yeah. Well, so I definitely learned what I am in a fight or flight scenario. So Tiffany came home and she was sitting down getting something to eat.
Oh, God, you punched your wife.
I punched Tiffany right in the mouth. She jumped out of the corner and went boo, and I went bam.
Smack.
And yelled Roadhouse. No, so she came home. She was out shopping or something. It was like at night. And, she comes in and I'm doing something in the living room, and she comes out and gets something to eat. We're chit-chatting. I'm in like a really goofy mood. Like I'm singing a weird song and whatnot, and annoying the crap out of her, of course.
What was the song?
Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, let's segue to this. I heard a brand new song that you're going to love.
Oh, no.
I'll just do a little bit of the chorus because it's all I've been singing. I wasn't gonna say it, but let me see if I can get this right. It's a rap song.
Oh,
and it's by I think her name's Risque is her name. And so
look at you. Is this what all the kids are listening to?
I think so. I think it's new. It's underground, so not everybody knows.
Look at you. You're being hip.
I know. So let me see if I can do this.
Oh, I'm so with it.
Why you coming home 5 a.m? Something's going on. Can I smell your dick? And that's I have been singing that song.
Like that was sounding like it was sounding kind of okay. It was kind of sounding like a sad R&B song, and then that one just took like a hard left.
So, Matt, like I'm singing this song all night. to Tiffany, and I keep telling her, I'm like, hey, just sing.
And then
sing the
she
whole thing.
punched you in the
Yeah,
mouth.
Exactly. She punched me in the dick. She's like, smell that. So I'm singing that the whole time. So this is really going to set the scene for you. And so finally, I know I've hit that, like, whenever you are doing something to annoy your wife and you get the playful, hey, stop.
You get, at first it's like, okay, knock it off. Like, don't be a dick. And then that moment comes like, motherfucker.
Sing that one more time.
Like,
do it one more time and see what happens.
You know that line? You know that line that you're about to cross? Yeah, there it is. You're staring on it. You're on the precipice. You're on the precipice of a decision, and the decision is yours. But I want you to know that on the other side of that line is a world of pain. A world of pain, Shawn. Shawn, did you cross that line and enter a world of pain?
No, so I got to that point. So I knew I had to leave because I was going to keep singing this song because it was in my head. It was not going away.
Oh,
I was
no.
a risque fan to the max.
How do you get out of that?
It's so tough.
Like, if you have something stuck in, if you have a song, see, I usually like play it over and over. I try and like listen my way out of it. Like, if there's a song that's really stuck in my head, I'll start to play it. Like, I will go and play the song and play it over and over and over in the hopes that it works its way out. And it kind of does. It usually works most of the time.
Yeah, sometimes. I've never really had a good way to get a song out of my head. Usually I try to tell Tiffany if she'll sing like what I've been singing, then I'll stop just because I think if I hear somebody else doing it, it helps,
Okay.
relieve that tension in my noggin.
I gotcha.
But so I made eye contact with Tiffany after singing that chorus like 37 times. And so I'm like, okay, I've got to go to the office and do some work, and I can sing it in there by myself and it won't annoy her. So in my house, there's a hallway, and then it takes a sharp right, and then you're going down another hallway. So you can't really see until you turn that corner.
Sure.
And there's a light in that hallway. And ever since I've moved here, I've always had a fear that when I turn that hallway, there's going to be a ghost or, there's going to be somebody standing in that hallway, right? Kind of like the shower thing.
Yeah, you turn the corner and then there's a guy with a machete or a zombie or
Cujo, anything scary. So I'm walking down the hallway and I've got that song in my head. So I'm, walking down. Something's going on, 5 a.m. I turn the corner. Oh my God! And I take off running down the hallway, back the other way. Because what I saw, Richard, and that's exactly how I sounded. I instantly blacked out and I went in flight mode.
Wow.
So I turn around and what I see is about a 3-foot silhouette. Because my hallway's pitch black. Like this thing is right at the edge of the corner. And just enough that when I turn, I'm maybe a half a foot away from it. So I'm expecting not to see anything when I turn this corner. And there's a 3-foot thing standing there.
Oh, no.
And I scream and instantly flight mode. I run down back the other way I came. And Tiffany is just laughing her ass off.
As well she should.
And after the pee kind of dried that was going down my leg and whatever poo I had left was already gone, I realized what I had saw. Tiffany had bought me, God bless her, I love her so much, but never do this. She bought me a 3-foot Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Leonardo, toy chest. But it's 3 foot, so I mean it's.
So you saw a mutant. You saw a mutant turtle in the dark.
Yes, I saw a Ninja Turtle in the dark, and as I'm trying to finish my lovely new song, I scream at the top of my lungs and run back to where Tiffany comes from. My heart's racing, and she's laughing.
So what was your plan? So you're running. Did you hide behind her? Like, oh my God, take the girl.
After I had turned and ran about 4 foot, I realized what I had saw. Or maybe I didn't hear footsteps coming after me, so I knew it wasn't to be, my life wasn't actually in danger. The first thought that went through my head when I saw it, though, is Chucky. I swear to God that was Chucky the doll right there.
Yeah. But it wasn't. It was Leonardo.
It was Leonardo. And she's laughing because she's like, oh, you're serious? And I couldn't talk for 10 minutes. My heart's racing. I'm scared to death. And like she keeps saying, "Oh, she's like, oh, you're serious. You're really scared." I'm like, "Please never do that again." That's my biggest fear in this life, next to sharks.
It's that and having small people in my house.
Yeah. But I mean, and after I talked to her for a few minutes, it's like, okay, well, I found out that I'm definitely a flight, not a fight person, which would have made for a better story if I turn that corner and see that and I just karate chop his head off.
Yeah. You turn the corner and be like, "Can I smell you? Oh, what the fuck is that?" And then you just punch it right in the nose.
Oh, man. So, yeah.
And then you would have broken it and then been like, "No."
But I think I offended her because, I mean, obviously I couldn't talk because my heart was racing. I was scared to death. And she keeps saying, she's like, "Oh, I thought you'd be happier to see it. You know, I thought you'd be happy about it."
"Aren't you happy? He just wants to love you. Why won't you love him?" And then she like grabs it and starts walking with it. So is it there now? Or was it just too traumatizing? Did you have to take it and like put it outside?
No, I was fine after I saw it. I moved it somewhere more convenient. So, well, no, actually, I'm sorry. We left it where it was because I didn't want to touch it for about an hour or two. Because I was, again, our first introduction, me and Leo, didn't go over very well.
No.
The first time I met a Ninja Turtle, I thought would go a lot better than this, and it didn't.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of that whole like first contact, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like the same reaction that like women have when we're at bars.
Except they're not coming around a corner. We're just standing there. They open the door like, "Oh, God!"
Yeah. Can I buy you a drink? "Oh, sure, you can buy me." "Oh, my God!"
But we left it in the hallway, and the following morning, Tiffany did like the same thing 3 times, and apparently it had scared her enough that she had to actually move it.
Maybe it moved.
Maybe. I chased the dog with it.
You put enough fear into it, maybe you gave it life.
I did.
Or maybe it is alive. Is it in the room with you right now?
Yeah, it's just right here. It's got its ninja swords out, and it's just standing there.
Is it are you keeping a close eye on it?
No, I mean, I look at it and turn away, and it gets closer. I mean, that's just gravity, right? It's, "Oh, God!"
Sure.
It's like the ghost from Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm going to get you." "Oh, you're looking at me. I'm going to freeze."
Yeah. I don't even remember what that's called. Booze?
Sounds right.
Like a boo. You look at it and then it covers its eyes.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I told her never, ever, ever do that again. I told her it would be the equivalent of me putting that into bed with her one morning, and she turns over, and there it is staring at her.
If I was Tiffany, and maybe she should listen to this right now because I think this is a great idea. I think she should just move it randomly around the house.
I didn't move it, no.
And just put it in random spots. Like you're both laying in bed and like going to sleep, and she gets up before you and takes it and like sits it next to you on the bed, like staring at you in the face. So then like you wake up and there it is.
So I've only been this scared probably twice in my life. When I saw the turtle, the other time I've screamed that loud, I don't know if I was like, sometimes when you're sleeping you get that half dream, half awake mode.
Yeah, I call it the land of nod.
Okay, yeah. So I was in the land of nod, and I was in bed, 14 or 15 years old. So it was probably like 3 p.m. And my dad comes in to wake me up, and he doesn't just say, "Hey, Shawn, time to get up," and flip on the light or anything. He just smacks the bed and is like, "Wake up!" I jump out of bed, scream that same way, like, "Ah!" And what makes you feel better is your dad just laughing at you. Like, "Ha ha, you pissed the bed. Clean it up." "Hey, everybody, look, Shawn pissed the bed." "I did, it's because you scared me." Whatever, bedwetter. My sister's like, "Bedwetter!"
"Honey, kids, come in here, yell at, come in here and laugh at your son."
"What the bed? Again?"
"Let's all gather around so we can collectively make fun."
It's just them. And, I've got morning wood, so it's even more embarrassing. It's like, "Ha ha."
That's your American Pie scene.
Yeah. I wet the bed with morning wood. "It's natural. They said so in health class."
So it just goes up and in your face.
I deserve this.
Oh, that'd be awesome. See, because you would have it, and then like you'd be like, "Wake up!" and you're like, "Ah!" And then because of the way your dick's pointed, you just piss right in your face.
And years later, my dad does a podcast and recants that story.
No! Oh my god! Oh, this is terrible.
But yeah, so that was my adventure. That was what I was leading into, is finding a brand new song.
That's not really an adventure. That's more just you have a toy and you have a new thing, and apparently you don't do well with first encounters.
No,
you are not
really,
the person. You will not be the person selected to introduce ourselves to an alien race.
Well, as long as I don't have to come around a corner and see him. I mean, I guess if they're like, okay, well, the person's in here, and open the door and oh, yeah. Sorry.
You and First Contact apparently do not work well together.
I come in peace.
But yeah, I really think Tiffany should just like put it in random spots in the house.
I did. We did learn that this will be an awesome thing for burglars. So we can like put it out right in front of the front door or somewhere. So if somebody breaks in, we'll at least hear the same reaction. So we'll be ready to pounce. And if it is alive, maybe it'll protect us.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say I don't think everybody will have the same responses as you do. I mean, that's just a thought. What if people? Okay, if I'm a burglar and I break into your house and then I turn and I see that thing and my reaction is, oh, look, a 3-foot turtle. That's obviously not real, so I have nothing to fear. And now I'm going to go kill these people in their sleep.
And then I'm going to take this turtle home because it's kind of cool.
He takes it back to the hideout, and then the robbers are, and then like a new robber comes in. And he's like, "Hey Jim, so what'd you get at the last?" Oh my god!
You like it? I listened to a podcast and I heard that happened to the same guy that used to own this. What happened to that? Well, I woke him up and he peed in his face, and then I shot him.
Greatest night of my life, Tom. Greatest night of my life.
He had a bunch of recording stuff. Maybe we should do a podcast and talk about that.
Yeah.
What are we going to call our show, Tom?
Oh, that would be an awesome podcast. It'd be like two guys that like case houses and rob them, and then they do a podcast about the place that they just robbed, and then they could talk about all the weird shit they found in there.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, so I broke into this guy's house last night, and I open up the closet. You know what I find? Woman's clothes. And they're all in his size.
You mean like his wife's clothes? Did he have a big wife? Nope. Dude was single.
Nope. Dude was totally single. There were pictures on the wall, and it was him.
It's weird. Just for kicks, I pressed the doorbell and it went, "Wild, wild horses."
He had a well dug in the basement. I don't know what that was about.
I thought I heard somebody down there, but I didn't really want to look.
Yeah. I took the basket though.
There's lotion in it.
There was lotion in it.
The guys don't realize though. It's like, okay, well they get caught, and it's, well, we want to exhibit number A through 32Z. Here's a 100-episode podcast of them explaining in everything they did about breaking into these houses. It was all satire, Your Honor. You can't prove a thing.
It's parody. We have rights. Trying to think what a good name for it would be, though. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, like Rob the Pod or Pod Rob.
Yeah. Pod Rob. Or Settling the Score.
So, yeah, Settling the Score. Maybe they just go and rob people they hate. So it's people they know.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe they don't even rob. No, this is the idea. Settling the Score. What they do is they find people that like piss them off really, really badly. And they break in their houses not to steal anything, but to get like material for their podcast.
Yeah. They could be like, hey, I went to Dave's house and opened up the closet, and guess what I found? Woman's clothes. So you know what I did? Took pictures of them. You can find them on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Don't forget to comment and share with your friends.
Yeah. Tag Dave as the woman on there for everything to go. Settling the Score. That's free.
Yeah, that's free. That's for you people. I'll if that comes on, I'll listen. I'll give it a listen. I'll go 5 episodes. I'll go 5 episodes in.
Just give us a little nod at the end of an episode. Are they break in and steal my turtle?
Today's our inspirational episode. Let me talk to you about this turtle. Jesus Christ!
Gets me every time.
How's the turtle look? Is he angry? Does he have like a smile or?
No, he's got a scowl.
He's got a scowl. Oh,
Yeah, I've got a picture of it that I'll post. I posted on Facebook, I think, the day that it happened. And he was standing there, hands down, dark out, dark alley. It was murderer's row, basically. Life flashed before my eyes and I ran. And the funny thing is, you've seen my dog. I have a big dog.
Right.
And you would think that if, man's best friend, he would hear me screaming for my life. He would run to my protection. You know what that dog did? Just stayed laying on the couch. He didn't care. He didn't give a fuck. He just lifts his head like, Dad, dude, I'm sleeping. Quiet down.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody broke in? Well, tell them to give me a treat before they leave.
Yeah. It's not like you put out, you bastard.
Yeah, pissing in your face when I wake you up in the morning barking. Despicable. I don't even want to call you my dad. It's like, I'm not your dad. I'm like adopted dad, maybe.
Stop it. You're a dog.
Yeah, it's like you're adopted. What? I'm adopted? Well, we don't look alike. I mean,
Actually, if that happens, my first thought is, holy shit, a talking dog!
Screw this turtle. This dog talking is going to be my money pit. He's just a jerk, so when people are over, he doesn't talk. He just talks when no one's there.
Yeah, and then he just fucks with you the rest of the time. Like, you'll stand behind the turtle and then talk. Shawn, I'm Leonardo.
Oh
my God!
Some bacon bits.
Dog, you're a dick.
Gotcha. I'm going to go take a nap and lick my balls.
Bet you wish you could.
It's like, oh, we'll take care of that. What do you mean? Nothing. Where are we going? To the vet.
To the park?
I'll take you to the vet. No, trust me, dog. We're taking you to the vet.
I'm really going to take you to the vet.
What are we going to do there? Oh, they're going to make a man out of you. Oh, yay. Comes out with a cone of shame. They didn't make me a man. I hate you. See what happens when you don't protect me.
No, at that point, it'd be like, I hate you.
Yeah. Why is my voice so high now? Well, because you don't have any balls. Can I smell your dick?
You don't have any balls.
No, I do.
You're the one with no balls.
Aw. Do you want to lick your balls? Yes. Well, you can't because you got the cone of shame.
They're in the jar.
You stupid dog.
Lick the jar.
Wish you could open that, don't you? But you don't have any thumbs because I am the far superior species.
How do you feel now?
Tiffany.
Who wants to talk? Who wants to talk in their Leonardo voice now? Huh?
Tiffany comes home and
I win.
Tiffany comes home and I'm arguing with the dog about his balls. She's like, listen. He takes me to a psychologist. Listen, this all seems to stem from when I brought this turtle home. I don't know if when he saw it and it scared him, if he's having some kind of weird brain aneurysm type thing. We need to get him help.
Ball shaming the dog.
No, the dog can talk, I swear. Can't you, dog? Just talk.
Woof.
Son of a bitch, dog.
I wish you had another pair of balls. Chop those off, too.
But no, he just laid on the couch, gave me a dirty look, laid back down. So what I do to get back at him? I chased him with the turtle.
I did that with I chased my dog with my son's crutches the other day. I put the crutches in underneath my arms and then came at it like, oh, look at my evil crutch arms. And the dog flipped shit. She was like, oh, what, where are your real arms? Oh my God, you're going to get me.
Dogs are so stupid. But in other news, I recently went and saw, this movie's been out there for a long time, but I went and saw The Martian with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. How was The Martian? Okay, give me your general opinion of The Martian.
And
I don't care if you spoil it. I'll preface this whole thing with spoilers about The Martian in case there are any, but I have not seen it.
I think what we need to talk about in The Martian is the serious questions. But my quick synopsis of it, it was good.
Okay.
Wasn't life-changing. I know a lot of people said that they think this movie is going to be what inspires America to, reach for the stars again.
That'd be good. I'd be all for that.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
If it does that.
It didn't really give me that kind of inspiration. Again, we've talked about this before. The whole idea of being stuck in a capsule, really with just a, piece of metal between you and death doesn't really excite me much. I'm not the kind of person to do that. So there's a little bit of queasiness when you think about that part, but not really.
I am all down for us trying to get to Mars. Oh, that reminds me, a quick update on a story that I talked about some months ago about the M drive, the electromagnetic drive. Apparently NASA has tested it again, and it still works. And they still don't know why it works. The test they did, they put some conditions on it, or they ruled out some conditions from the original test. Like, basically, it's producing the electromagnetic drive is producing thrust, and they can't figure out why. Like, it works, but they don't know why it works, because theoretically it shouldn't work.
Because this was the whole like microwave thing, right?
Right. They basically they create like a closed metal container, and then by bouncing around microwaves inside of it, it generates thrust. But the thing is they can't figure out why it does it, because it violates some conventional laws about physics, namely the laws of things like perpetual motion and things like that. So, but they're testing this thing, and it works. It's generating thrust. But they don't know why, and they don't understand how it's possible. So they did another test with it. In this test, they basically like put some conditions on it to remove possibilities that it's generating thrust because of other things.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like, basically, they're afraid that there were some conditions that might have invalidated the original test that they did. But they tried it again, and it still works. So they're going to go further with it and test it further. But at this point, it works, and they don't know why it works. And they're like, NASA is completely baffled as to why this thing does what it does. It's basically like this impossible machine, and they don't know what's going on with it. But I saw that story a little while ago. Okay. Anyway, I segued away. So you like The Martian?
It was good.
And I agree with you about being in the capsule. I could like being in that enclosed space for months on end. Because how long would it take to travel to Mars?
I want to say it was like a 6-month trip. I think 400 days is kind of that'd be like a year. So I don't know if 400 days is there and back, but they talked about like 4 or 6 months being kind of how long it took.
Okay.
That's the gist I got it from them when they were traveling. So, there's a lot of what seems to be plot holes in it, which made it kind of confusing. And I was trying to wrap my head around a lot of this stuff. So I know
they didn't add in time travel, did they? Because whenever time travel gets in, that's when shit goes awry.
No, this wasn't whatever the hell that guy who tried to make a Batman series, whatever the hell he called his.
Oh, the Interstellar.
Yeah, it wasn't like that at all. Because it starts out pretty much how I would think. It starts out with everybody on Mars, so you don't have the whole first person on Mars thing. I don't know if these are the first people or if there have been multiple people before them. So that's kind of neat. It's kind of like we've already established that we can get to Mars.
Okay.
And
so it doesn't start from the beginning where it's, hey, this is us going to Mars, and oh no, this happens, and oh no, now what do we do?
Yeah, it kicks right into we're on Mars, they're collecting stuff. Real quickly they're like, oh shit, there's a storm coming, kind of thing.
Okay.
So the first thing that kind of I didn't quite understand, because they discuss it later in the movie, but they had a ship basically to get them from Mars back to their main ship to get back to Earth.
Okay.
So because of this storm, they had to cut their mission short, because as the storm was coming, it was tipping over this spaceship that they're going to use to get back into their other spaceship. So it's pretty much like, oh shit, if this falls over, we're fucked. So, they're rushing to get to the ship, and that's when, you see it in the trailer, Matt Damon's character gets knocked away, and they lose all sign of him. So like, oh shit, he's dead. Okay, well, let's look for him.
Off we go.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, let's look for him. Oh crap, we're at 12%. If we get any further on 12%, our rocket ship will fall. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to leave him. All right, we're in our spaceship. Spoiler alert, Matt Damon wasn't dead.
Oh, no.
If you didn't already know.
Now he's all alone.
Yeah. Mwah, mwah. So the first thing so kind of jumping ahead, but the reason they had to leave so quickly is because their ship was going to fall over. But it's revealed later in the movie that they've already dropped these exit ships, I guess. I don't know what they're really called, but these ships that they're going to leave Mars from, they've already dropped all these in the places that they want to explore.
Okay.
So they've sent this group, and then like in 6 years, they're going to send another group, and then 6 years after that, they're going to send another group. So those ships are already there. So my question is,
why doesn't he get on one of the other ships?
Well, there's that, but if that's such a volatile situation, because I'm sure Mars has storms all the time.
Sure.
Why the hell didn't they think of ways to not keep this ship from toppling over? That seems like kind of, issue number one we need to solve on our whiteboard.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, hey, we're going to land on this planet. There's the off chance that there's, these storms that you see on Mars, there's the off chance that we might be caught in one. What are we going to do when that happens?
Because it seems like there's no precaution. Because what if you get there and that ship topples over when you're like 2 weeks away from Mars? Like, oh, well,
yeah,
guess you're fucked.
Yeah. Now you're all stuck.
That was kind of my first thought. They do take him or have him go to the other ship that's out there. It's miles and miles away. So it's a pretty big journey because all he has is a solar rover type thing to get there.
Okay.
So he can only go for like 6 hours and has to charge the batteries up and then go another 6 hours. So that's kind of how he gets there. But a lot of it is really just him alone, trying to make food. And every time he's doing something, one bad thing happens after another. So it gets,
yeah.
I always feel like these stories, they're always scared to not have it end happily. The whole time I was watching, they're talking about, well, he's got this water processor, but he doesn't have enough water for his food. So that was confusing to me. It's like, well, if you're able to create water, and maybe I missed something. Maybe he's not able to create water, but he couldn't use the water he was creating through this filtration system. He had to basically like create water a different way.
Okay.
So it's all kind of trying to, I don't know, make this thing seem a lot more difficult.
Now, okay, did he have like did he have a set amount of supplies? Like, hey, this is going to last me 6 months. I have to figure out how to stretch it. Or is it, hey, I don't have anything. I need to make something from nothing.
Well, it's all very much to make this movie work because he does have enough food. So there's 6 or 8 people that were with them on this trip, and they had to cut it like 2 or 3 months short. So he's got enough food for 6 or 8 people. I think they doubled it. So not only for 6 months, but for 12 months. So you extend that out even further because you can ration it. It's all like freeze dried food.
Okay.
Because, if it was, okay, it's the last day of the trip. We have no resources left. Let's get to our ship. And then you're left on the, Mars. Well,
now what?
You're definitely fucked.
Right. Because then you got to figure, like, I would think the only option at that point would be figure out how to grow food.
And they, you see that in the trailer. He grows potatoes, which when he does that, it's like, oh, well, I'm set for, it sounds like almost a full year or two with the amount of potatoes he has. But of course, to add drama, the place he had him, there's a explosion type thing, and all his food dies instantly because it's exposed to the Mars elements.
Oh, poor Matt.
Poor Matt Damon. And the funny part is he's got a shit ton of potatoes because he can grow potatoes, and so he's dipping them in ketchup.
Uh-huh.
And so he runs out of ketchup, and he's doing a video diary. He's like, well, I'm going to dip these potatoes in this crushed up Vicodin because nobody can tell me no. But they don't do what I kind of wish they would have. So I do you want full spoilers, I guess? Because
yeah,
okay.
That's fine. That's fine. The way I understood the movie, it kind of splits between him on Mars trying to figure out how to survive until hopefully someone comes to find him, and then the other half of the movie is either the other astronauts or people trying to get together a mission to go and get him. It seemed like the movie was kind of split between those two stories.
Yeah, because they get about 2 months away, and that's when NASA figures out that he's alive.
Okay.
And there's a big drama of like, well, do we tell the crew or do we not tell them? And they go with, well, we can't tell them because they've got a lot on their mind right now. They got to get back to Earth.
Okay.
And so finally they figure out, it's like, okay, well, we got to tell them. And they all feel like shit, obviously. It's like, fuck, we left Matt Damon on Mars, you know.
Yeah.
People are going to be pissed because we left Matt Damon on Mars.
How are we going to get more Bourne movies now?
First thought that went through everybody's mind. So
we got that other guy. We got that Jeremy Renner. We could use him, right? It's not the same, Tom.
Oh, I kind of liked him. He plays a good Hawkeye. Fuck you, Tom.
Yeah, he was good. Tom, nobody cares about your opinion right now.
Aren't you supposed to get us coffee, Tom? Isn't that your job? Well, yeah, but
yeah, make with the latte.
I have an opinion too. No, you don't, Tom. How many times do we have to tell you? You have no opinion. Not allowed.
I have a degree in mechanical engineering from MIT. Yeah, that's great. Why don't you mechanically engineer me a cup of coffee there? You dick. Jeremy Renner. What the fuck's wrong with you?
So they get it in their head. They say, okay, well, this is what you can do. Because they try to get a ship of supplies to Mars for him. But, of course, they rush it and hurry it, and it explodes on, liftoff or whatever.
Of course it does.
Because you got to have that drama.
So I'm curious, though, the bad things that happened, did it take you out of it when the bad things happened? Like, oh, of course, this has to blow up because otherwise, where's the tension? Or, of course, this has to happen because... Like, did everything feel? Did the bad things that happened? Did they feel like plot devices, or did it feel like it kind of generated organically in the story?
I wouldn't say it felt organic. It really did feel like, oh, okay, well, oh yay, you got food. Oh well, now you don't. Oh, we're able to get this ship, ready for liftoff in 3 months when it usually takes 2 years. Oh, but it blows up. It really, it did feel like plot. It felt like ways to make a good plot.
Okay.
You didn't really feel like he was actually in these situations. So the thing they tell the crew is they say, okay, well, this is what we can do. When you come in, you can whip around the Earth via, what was it? Armageddon was what they did on that, where they used the moon's gravity.
They used the gravity of the moon to slingshot, I guess, their way
to the asteroid.
Slingshot around the moon to the asteroid.
So they totally used that. Donald Glover is a mad scientist, and he figures out, he's like, the math works. Goes to a supercomputer, plugs his laptop in, and it does a big calculation, and he comes back, he's like, the math works. It's like, okay, well, we'll leave this.
He pushes his glasses up. The math works, guys.
Exactly.
We can do it.
And so then there really isn't much to that. It's like, yeah, the math works. If you flip around the Earth, and you can get to Mars, and that just happens. They don't really like make it like this big event in the movie. It just happens.
Okay.
So they spend like 6 months to get back to Earth, only to do a quick drive-by to go all the way back to Mars. Because Matty D is going to, go to this other liftoff area and try to meet them in outer space and hook up with them there.
Oh, okay. I also got the impression that, I know Matt at one point sent out a signal. Does he ever get like, hey, I know you guys probably thought I was dead, but I'm really not. Thanks for leaving me, you fucking dickheads. But does he ever get a message back where NASA's like, sorry.
How's the weather?
So you're good, right? You got potatoes.
So you've got 6 months worth of supplies. It's gonna take us approximately 2 years to get somebody there.
Try not to die.
Yeah. Why don't you cut a hole in that tent and just call it good? No, so
just go to sleep. Just go to sleep, Matt. It's okay. We have Jeremy Renner. Don't talk to him about Jeremy Renner. It's a good idea. Stop it. Guys, No, it's fine. It's fine.
We're doing Born on the Mars. I'm going to tape it with my iPhone. I'll upload it to NASA, and it'll work. No, so
He just puts like a Russian takes like a Russian cosmonaut helmet and puts it on the rover. And he's like, "Oh, I got you now, Russian dog."
well, they never really played on. I would think if you were alone on a planet for, I think it had to be at least 2 years. He was on that planet by himself. You would probably go insane.
A little bit. I mean, I mean, maybe even because I get it that I think being an astronaut, I think there's the possibility that something terrible would happen and you'd have to be alone for an extended period of time. So I could see where you might not go full crazy, like scribbling on the walls, kind of crazy. But I mean, I think you'd have to lose it a little bit. Not interacting with another human being for over 2 years. Not interacting with another human being just maybe over a screen.
And he does, and so they do a kind of cool thing with that. So they're watching over this with satellites, and they notice that the rover's moving.
Okay.
From like the day they left to like 10 days after. And so I can't remember. I think Matt Damon went and so they kind of figure out that he's alive. And Matt Damon goes and finds this old rover or old whatever. I can't remember what the thing is. They have that thing on. Is it Curiosity or?
Okay.
Whatever that thing is called that's out there that's kind of taking pictures of Mars. He found one of those that was pretty close to their campsite that had just died for whatever reason. They don't know why. So that's how he gets in contact with NASA. He finds that, gets it, fixes it, and they realize that's what he's doing. So they kind of get this two-way communication. It's like 15 minutes from when it takes a picture to when they see it. So it's slow communication. And slowly they build up back to, because the satellite got destroyed. Because you also have to have that happen. The satellite gets destroyed. That is their communication during this big storm.
Well, of course it does. Be like, hey, that one good thing that happened? Well, we got to take that away now.
Yeah. Because, I could say, hey, I'm still here, as they are not even left the orbit of Mars yet. But that'd be too good of a movie.
Hey, guys. So I'm not dead. Fuck Jeremy Renner.
So that was kind of neat. And somehow they hooked up where he can basically text back and forth on the computer. So that's how his communication goes.
Okay.
So he has no verbal or face-to-face communication for at least 2 years.
Yeah, like how would that not send you just maybe even a little bit over the edge? Like I said, like not crazy scribbling on the walls, but just maybe, you have like one or two weird quirks.
I mean, if you were on Earth, and let's say you were in somewhere on Earth for 2 years by yourself, at least there's other interactions you can have with nature, with, you're not trapped. He's basically trapped in a room-sized building. If he goes outside, he has to be in a spacesuit, and he's not talking to anything or anyone. There's nothing there but Mars dust and computers.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of spending 2 years inside of a cave. But even like you go out of the cave, like it's not pretty. It's just red rocks and more red rocks.
And I'd add this into it. The cave you're living in, every day you're scared it's going to collapse on you.
Yeah.
I think this was the best part of this whole movie. So they go to that decompression thing to get into their kind of home. And as he's got his potatoes and stuff, he goes in there and that decompression thing explodes.
As it does.
Yeah, so it kills all the potatoes he had.
Which, okay, here's the other thing. This is something I kind of feel is a plot hole, and I think it's to the testament of NASA. The technology that NASA uses, if we're talking about, the flight control systems inside a module, inside the shuttle modules, or the technology that they use to get to the moon or to launch a satellite. You're talking about stuff that I think has built-in redundancy after redundancy. I mean, this isn't something that like, hey, this works, but if it doesn't work, then everything goes to shit. Like that technology is designed so that if something goes wrong, then there's something you can do to work, either fix it or at the very least work around it.
Yeah, it might have was probably built in more for plotness, but
so to have, I'm just saying, like, to have all this this technology that NASA has, and have it all just systematically fuck up all the time, like, that just doesn't seem like something that NASA would even try.
Well, I don't know because this was later in his mission, so I don't know if he had. So obviously with this decompression thing, they probably test it to the X number of times that they'd probably use it. So I don't know if he had just maxed it out the number of times to use it, and that's what caused the explosion. They never really go into it. It just explodes. Like something happened.
Okay.
But what he does, so it creates this hole in his living area. There's another decompression system that is built into this. But right now his whole area is basically contaminated.
Okay.
So he gets, the industrial NASA tarps, covers the hole, gets the NASA duct tape. There's a lot of NASA duct tape in this thing. The duct tape is really what saved his life in this movie.
Is NASA duct tape cooler than regular duct tape? What makes it special? Does it say NASA on it?
It just says NASA on it, yeah. It says NASA for Matt Damon. NASA for Matt Damon. And then
written in Sharpie on it.
After 6 feet, it says "fuck Jeremy Renner." So he tapes up this hole, and he kicks back on the decompression. So you see, it bubble up because it's decompressing or whatever.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, it holds. So he goes back through, gets in there, and he's sitting back in his cabiny area. But what they do is, this kind of puts a little bit of stress on you. It's the same feeling I get whenever a storm comes through. So he's laying in his cabin, and this, if this tarp and duct tape don't hold, he's dead. If it breaks or cuts or tears, instantly he's exposed to the element, and he's going to die.
Yeah, no more Matt Damon.
And so he's sitting in his thing, and as the wind is howling outside, you just hear the thump, thump, the wind sucking and pulling on that tarp. And they just focus on him while this is going on. And every time you hear that tarp snap, he jumps. Because obviously you're expecting to come around the corner and see Leonardo standing there when you're not expecting it. So the whole time he's, in that situation, you're basically at the, duct tape. Duct tape has your hand in its life. If that duct tape holds, you get to live another day. If it doesn't, you're dead.
Yeah. God, never have you ever relied that much on duct tape, let alone almost anything else in your life. Duct tape. That's what's standing between you and oblivion.
And so let's see. So he survives that. That goes well. The ship comes back around. They got some supplies because they teamed up with China to send some supplies up, which that seemed like that should have been a bigger plot point, but they didn't really touch on it too much. They get there. Matt Damon works his way over to the other ship. It gets fired up, and there's a little bit of challenge with him getting to the other ship. And what I thought, I'm kind of upset they didn't do this because this seems like it would have been more emotional, might be the way to put it. So it ends like every movie you'd think would end. He gets saved, he gets on the ship, he gets back home, and he's fine. I think what would have made this movie so just like emotional, because it's an emotionally draining event to be stuck on a planet by yourself for 2 years. You're emotionally drained at that point just as an audience.
Yeah.
So as he's getting sent back up into outer space, he's at a point where he's got to kind of float to the ship, basically. He's got to swim to the ship. So if they would have done this to where they reach out to get to him, but there's not enough rope to get to him, basically, that they end up flying by him, and he's stuck in outer space all by himself.
Which would suck even more than being stuck on Mars by yourself.
Oh, yeah, because you would starve to death at that point.
Yeah, it's over then.
But it would just be such an emotional thing to be like, okay, I've made it. I'm literally, I was literally thousands or hundreds of millions of miles away from Earth, from surviving. And I got within, 10 feet of being rescued. And I missed it by 10 foot.
Right.
That would be such a more emotional thing than, oh, well, we got him. We saved him. We got him back. It's all good.
Thank God we have Matt Damon.
Yeah. Bourne 5. Here we go.
Woof. And Jeremy Renner's like, fuck Matt Damon.
I almost had my chance. Well, I guess I'll be Hawkeye for a little bit
I bet he
longer.
was the one that sabotaged all the equipment, wasn't he?
Probably. He's on set fucking with stuff.
He's like, look, we have all these supplies to send to Mars, and there's Jeremy Renner like poking holes in the fuel tanks with arrows. With arrows from the Avengers set. He's like shooting holes in the fuel tanks. And he's like, I knew this archery training would come in handy eventually.
Matt Damon standing right there. I'm going to fucking keep you on Mars. He's like, dude, this is a movie. Whatever, Matt Damon. Thunk, thunk.
Fuck you, Damon.
He watches the movie like, watch this. Yeah, you see that explosion? I caused that. How do you make it back? Son of a bitch.
I hate movies.
They're so unrealistic. So he gets back. And this is where my mind instantly goes. They never really talk about it. And for a second, because he makes a lot of jokes throughout the whole movie, being kind of, funny Matt Damon. So he gets back, and apparently he's at NASA and he's teaching a class. And so he's standing there with all these, future astronauts. And he says something along the lines, all right, I am going to answer the question that I am always asked, the number one question I'm always asked. And he pauses, and in my brain real quickly is like, yeah, you're going to tell him how many times you masturbated, didn't you?
Yep. That was my thought.
Spoiler alert, he doesn't.
Oh. See, that would have been like, my answer to the question you all are wondering. 486 times. Credits.
It's like, I was on this planet for 1,267 days, and I masturbated 3,152 of them. Credits.
Right. That's all I did. I grew potatoes and jerked off. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to judge me?
What the fuck else am I going to do? Think I need to go outside and collect more rocks? No. It's waste energy. Just masturbate. Put it in a jar. I can drink it later. There's nutrients there. Don't judge me. It was life or death.
We all do strange things. I was by myself.
I want to see some of the outtakes from the video diaries he was doing. He's putting on some of the ladies' outfits, dancing around.
He's like texting NASA. He'd be like, can you send me porn? Put some porn on that ship of supplies.
Oh, God. Could you imagine how dark your imagination would go? Be stuck on Mars with no porn and all the time in the world. You're
Although let's be honest with ourselves, like, what's the over-under that you would already bring stuff with you?
That's a good question. I don't know. I know I've read that NASA has said that astronauts cannot have sex. Like, they are forbidden from having sex in space.
Is it because they're afraid of what will happen? Is something going to happen?
I don't know. I don't know those.
Is that like how we is that how we finally break through the fourth wall and and like NASA's keeping it in the dark?
Maybe. That's the next stage of evolution.
Like once exactly. Like once we like figure out how to have sex in space, then it's like all of a sudden like, these beings materialize out of the ether. It's like, you have passed the final test. You are ready to become beings of pure energy.
NASA's been keeping this from us for years, assholes.
Sons of bitches.
Buzz and whatever his name had sex on the moon, and they had a beautiful child. Yeah, I just imagine you're stuck on Mars without any porn. So you start things like, oh God, okay, so this Martian princess is going to come to the door. She has 2 vaginas and 6 boobs. Sounds so hot.
Yeah.
Fuck Mars.
Maybe he wrote his own. Like he wrote like fan fiction.
So Jeremy Renner and Matt Damon are 2 Bournes that want to be one.
Like he's getting ready to get on the capsule to get back home. He's like, wait, I need my stories.
It's like, what is all that written down on that potato paper?
Nothing.
So Matt Damon created a potato woman. Well, this is weird.
Yeah.
Can't wait till you get to the anal part. I didn't think potatoes had butts.
And then you create a potato Jeremy Renner to watch. Like, who's the potato woman? It's Jeremy Renner's mom. I make him watch. Make Renner face me.
You were born from this catastrophe. That's awesome.
That would be the title of the next movie, The Bourne Catastrophe.
Jeremy.
So he does make it back.
He does make it back. He teaches a class. And what he basically says is, so I'm going to answer the number one question I'm always asked, and it's yes. I thought I was going to die every day, and it's I mean, so many things had to go right for him to live, and it seems like so many little things probably would have happened to not let him live.
Right.
That kind of made it unrealistic because nobody ever explores that, because I think you could have a whole movie on that. Like, okay, what happens when, we've sent all these astronauts back to Mars and they get, scratch the whole, he doesn't make it, 10 feet away from, like, he dies on Mars, while they're 3 months away from getting back to him. You could explore that. They have 3 months to travel to Mars, knowing that they're not picking anybody up and then have to go back.
Yeah.
So they've made this however long journey, 3-year journey for essentially nothing. You have the people on Earth that have to, it's like, hey, it's not happiness. It's not sunshine and rainbows. He's gone. He survived what we thought he didn't, and now he's gone.
Yeah. Do you think at some point, you almost wonder if that actually happened, if NASA would be like, you know what, like, he's probably not going to make it anyway. Are we really going to waste the time and energy to go and get him?
They explore that, which is really interesting, because they find out that he's alive, but there's no communication between the two yet, and so they're like, okay,
Sure.
we got to keep this secret. And at some point it gets out, so they have to tell everybody. They tell, hey, we're doing all we can to get to him. And so their first thought was, we'll send him more supplies because the next mission is in 2 years. So we'll send him enough supplies to get him through 2 years, and then we'll meet up somehow and bring him back then. But then all the bad stuff happens. Like, well, shit, he doesn't have 2 or 6 years, whatever it is. So
Right.
we either send the mission now, which isn't ready, or we have to send these, people coming back. We have to send them to go get him. So they explore that. They're like, well, because Jeff Daniels mentions, I can't remember what his name is, but he's like the director of NASA. He talks about saying, hey, I want satellite images in this area off because I don't want to send images of a dead astronaut to America. And he tells them, like, we'll be fine in about 2 years because I'm told within 6 months his body's going to be buried by sand. So they explore that because they're like, we don't want to show America a dead astronaut because that will kill any interest in sending another ship to Mars. That will kill our program.
That makes sense.
Which is, I mean, that's straight from our history. Like, I think when the Challenger blew up, didn't that cause a lot of grounding for a while?
Yeah, I think it did.
And then the most recent one, we haven't sent anything since that one, right? The one that exploded on reentry like 10 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. Well, we scrapped the whole shuttle program anyway.
It was shortly after that reentry issue, I thought.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was after that whole shuttle incident, like, we kind of were like, hey, we're using space shuttles that are, 10, 20 years old. Maybe, we should try something different. And so they kind of scrapped the shuttle program, and they're like, we'll build something better. And then we never did because the money was never there.
And they explore all that with the back end piece of it, which you never really think, oh, well, we're NASA, we still have to have good PR because if the public doesn't support it, then we're not going to get funding, so we're not going to do it.
Right.
Which is weird to think about because they're almost taking it as a business aspect. Like, we have to, our customers have to be satisfied with us.
Yeah.
Or we don't have jobs, but their job is to expand, human knowledge or exploration or all these things. But bad PR will kill all of that, that was kind of odd, but.
So all in all, it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was okay. It was a little long. I think they could have made it more memorable if they did a few different things. I haven't read the book. I'm guessing the book pretty much is exactly the same. Cookie cutter type story. It seems like, bad thing happens. You have to prevail, and everything is happy and good at the end. You never have it.
I'm actually kind of surprised that it ended well. You would think I don't know, in this era of movies, like, it doesn't necessarily always do that.
I always worry that movies are too scared to do that because people will come out upset about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so it's like, oh, it was good up till the end, so don't go see it. The ending pissed me off because he didn't live. So then it's like, oh, well, I'm not going to go see it then. And I think that leaves a much bigger impact on somebody as an audience member. Like Marley and me. When Marley died, that brought tears to my eyes. I wanted tears seeing Matt Damon floating through space going, I wanted to be in Bourne 5. I'm going to puke. Because he's doing spins.
And then, there's Jeremy Renner like, my time has come, and then credits.
But yeah, that was my experience with The Martian Man. Not The Martian Man. Well, I guess Matt Damon is The Martian Man, technically.
Well, he's the Earth Man that went to Mars.
Well, I guess, do you have any? I spoke a lot and shared a lot of info on The Martian. Do you have any Richard's closing thoughts?
Regardless of however the movie went, or whether the movie is good or not good, I think that we need to invest in the space program. I mean, if we have to put Matt Damon on a fucking shuttle and send him to Mars in order for us to send anybody to Mars, fine, I'm down for it. Let's go for it. Why not?
Jeremy Renner's like, yes, send Matt Damon to Mars. And Matt Damon's like, no. I just made like $20 million off this movie. I'm staying here. I have a house in Malibu. Malibu, Mars. What the fuck you think?
Fuck Mars.
All right. Well, I guess I'll do a little bit of housekeeping.
Yeah, do that. You need to do that.
Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Like us on Twitter. We're at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. Like us on Facebook and subscribe and leave a review on iTunes and Stitcher.
And don't forget to check us out on the Pod Bros Network.
The best podcast site on the internet and on Mars.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. On this planet or the next.
And if you're in the need for some earbuds while you're jamming out all alone on Mars, go to tweakedaudio.com. Use the promo code LOBARMY. You'll get 33% off. And they'll give you free shipping anywhere on Earth. Not Mars. They won't send anything to Mars.
Not to Mars. They will not be free shipping to Mars. and if there is, they'll put it on a ship and that ship will blow up.
It'll take you a while to get it. And if it explodes, you got to buy another pair. You don't get a refund then.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well, anything else before I close her out?
No. All
right.
No.
Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver. Can I smell your dick?
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Could you imagine what his hoo-ha area would smell like after 2 years and no shower?
Yeah, you just painted a very terrible picture for me.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.